so glad I didn't have to pay $40 for this. Thanks for the opportunity to just...
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. You're getting better lighting.
Okay, let's see, I'm at City Hall. Ooh. There's Chesapeake and see petroleum crude. Let me just...
Sure, no.
We've got the petroleum crude, oil, and first aid measures. All right, so now we have it. The NAPTA 8002-05-9 toluene, 108-88-3 xylenes, benzene, ethyl benzene. Okay, now we're looking at the toxicology on that. And all right, ethyl benzene. Okay, here's hydrogen sulfide. Are they gonna? I thought that wasn't in the area, but do they inject hydrogen sulfide?
Good question. Just any chemical that's going to be on site, regardless of how much, has to be on the MSDS.
Would that be naturally occurring?
I doubt it. If it's naturally occurring, you probably wouldn't have to have it on the MSDS.
That's what I was thinking. 7783-06-4, because I read on Texas Sharon's website yesterday that they frack with carbon disulfide. I didn't know they might be fracking with hydrogen sulfide. That's scary. Okay, that's a 7783-06-4. Okay. We're still talking about hydrogen sulfide. The next one, the condensate. Condensate. When they say the percent ranges, is that what they're expecting? Or?
I believe so. The MSDS will show whatever percentage is expected to be.
You're saying, okay, say that again.
No, the MSDS is just going to break down what's on that front cover page for each of them.
Okay.
So whatever the percentiles are, each of the percentages after that on the MSDS should break down what each of those are. So you're just
regardless of a drill site. It's just basically the MSDS for that.
For that chemical compound, absolutely.
Okay. All right, so it's not specific to the drill site?
No, no. All MSDSs are just specific to the compound.
Okay. All right, so we're still talking the condensate. And now we're looking at the next one, which is natural gas condensate with hydrogen sulfide. So they're going to have hydrogen sulfide. And then the next one is natural gas. They're adding natural gas, or they expect it to be naturally on the site? That's what I'm still unclear on.
Well, no. If the natural gas is, since it's being produced, that's a chemical that will be on site. The MSDS is for all the phases, from the moment that the drill rig gets out there all the way through production. So anything that could possibly be on that site is going to be listed in the MSDS.
Okay, and then again we've got natural gas with hydrogen sulfide.
Which also means that there may be things listed in here that won't be found on the pad site. However, in order to to cover all the bases, every chemical compound that has the possibility of being there is listed.
Okay. Now, is this just on the workover, or is this on the whole Truman site
The whole
that you
Truman
have?
site, from start to finish.
Okay. Petroleum crude oil with hydrogen sulfide. So maybe I'm missing the biocides and the corrosion inhibitors and the methanol. And
It should all be in there.
no, I mean, I'm just looking at for petroleum crude with hydrogen sulfide, component analysis, the BTEX, of course. But so far all I've seen is BTEX and hydrogen sulfide. And so does that mean they're not going to frack using any chemicals? Here's the produced water. And that's going to be a complex mixture. Cinnamon, salt water ratio, oily water, formation water. Produced water is sweet. Great, it's going to have benzene in it, but less than 1%. Water, 68, greater than 68%. Dissolved minerals, less than 32. Benzene less than 1, petroleum distillates less than 1. Petroleum distillates, naphtha, in the produced water. The benzene, let's see. We're still talking about produced water, so it's supposed to have petroleum distillate, naphtha, and benzene. The naphtha is 8002-05-9, benzene 71-13-2. And then again, we're going to have produced water with hydrogen sulfide, which will be water, dissolved minerals, hydrogen sulfide, benzene, and petroleum distillate. Water greater than 68%, dissolved minerals less than 32, hydrogen sulfide highly variable, benzene less than 1%, petroleum distillate, naphtha less than 1%. Alright, so we got hydrogen sulfide, petroleum distillate, and benzene. And so there's actually an MSDS for produced water. I thought that's not a chemical. Well, it's a chemical, but it's naturally occurring.
Well, if the produced water is going to have anything inside of it, any oils or anything along those lines, it's going to have an MSDS with it. So, and I think produced water, due to the fact that it's produced water, it's not natural water, has an MSDS for it. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, there's actually an MSDS for water. So,
okay.
You know, there's almost an MSDS, I think, on anything that is not a human body, most likely.
Now, in the natural gas, we're going to have 100% or percent ranges. Now, is this for in general, regardless of the drill site, 100% natural gas? Let's see, greater than 90% methane, because, you know, I thought they would add up to 100%, but less than 5% ethane, less than 1% propane, and trace amounts of aphilic hydrocarbons, C4-C6. So this is a regular MSDS sheet, but Chesapeake just put their logo on it. So if I would pull up MSDS sheets and I would type in natural gas, I would see these same percent ranges. I'm just making sure. Okay. All right, so they're not using any methanol, any biocides, any corrosion inhibitor, any methanol. They're not using any of the gels or the slick water additives or the surfactants. I mean,
it's not in their MSDS. It's not supposed to be out there.
Okay, so they're not fracking. I mean, what about the sand? The sand's not even in here.
No, and the fracking company will have to have their own MSDS.
Okay, so
That's going to be just for the operations that Chesapeake is
Okay,
using.
and operations would be drilling and workovers.
Drilling and workovers, and then you're going to have your normal maintenance and things along those lines. Now, the frac company, when they come out, they have their own MSDS on site. The fire department requires them to have that on site, and if we so desire, and we're having that now, especially with like fracsource.com and stuff like that, that lists the MSDS and it lists all the chemical equations that are in each of the different fracking makeups, whatever you want to call those.
Well, wasn't it Frac Tech? Oh, no, that's a company.
Yeah, Frac Tech's a company.
What's the name of that website where they have to disclose it?
I believe it's Frac Source.
Frac Focus?
Frac Focus, that's it.
Okay, because I looked on there and I didn't see my Truman site.
It hasn't been fracked yet.
So once they frack it, then it goes on?
I believe that's how it goes. Because we've looked it up for like the Folsom site. We've looked it up for I think the CH Enterprise. Anything after February of this year should have, if it's been fracked, it should have that MSDS listed on it.
Okay, so this is just for drilling and workovers and maintenance in Chesapeake.
Yes, for Chesapeake.
And then when they frack, that would be either Halliburton or Schlumberger and their list of chemicals. And those are the ones they have to put on fracfocus.com, although it's not an exhaustive list because they do have their proprietary items that even Schlumberger was told they don't even know because they get that from a different company.
Anything that the EPA has said that they have to disclose will be on Frac Focus.
Well, that's not 100% of what's going in those frac fluids, so, I mean, it's not complete disclosure because they get to keep their proprietary information secret. Last I heard, it wasn't 100% mandated. Okay, so how come the city doesn't get the MSDS sheets from Halliburton and Schlumberger?
We do. When they go for the, during the frac job, all that is taken up by the fire department.
Okay.
Because they're the ones that will respond to any sort of chemical.
Well, so is it very possible they've already, since Chesapeake's drilled the 3 wells, that we've already been exposed to whatever they had on that site, whatever they say that, based on these MSDS sheets that they're using to drill with?
By exposed.
Well, I mean, just what they...
Yeah,
they've done it already.
Yeah, all those things that are listed on the MSDS most likely have been out on that side.
Already and done. Okay. So now, right now, I think it still says drilling on the website, but technically they were in a workover.
They're in that middle stage between the drilling into the perforation. So it kind of stays by the definition in the drilling phase. Then it'll get into the perforation phase and then into the fracking phase.
But on the internet, when I go in for the city, it'll either say drilling, fracking, or workover, or flowback, right?
Oh, a lot of times the workover will be after the perforation. It'll do a workover because the group will come out there. They'll work over the well in order to get the frac crew their ability to come up and hook up to the well. After the frac, they'll have a workover after that too.
Okay, so drill, pref, workover, frac, workover, and then flowback.
Flowback.
I don't understand what happened at the site, the Lynn Smith site at Bowen and Division. They fracked in December, but they didn't flow back till March. That's typical, or that was
it can happen.
A scheduling issue? Or?
Could be a scheduling issue, could be pipeline because it has to go green completion, so could be a number of issues. That's really up to the operator on that.
But do you know if Chesapeake's going to flow back right away? Or?
I don't have that info.
Well, they will be sending it to you and you'll let me know, right?
Absolutely.
Because flowback is, if the winds, I don't know what I'm going to do.
No, I totally understand.
I just want to know when they flow back for sure.
Enough. And like I was telling you on our email back and forth, as soon as they update their calendar, we'll update the calendar here and I'll just give you a call and we'll go from there.
Okay. Just the presence of the hydrogen sulfide or the natural gas condensate with hydrogen sulfide means that when they're drilling, it may be present naturally, and that's really the only reason they have this MSDS sheet. They're not really drilling with hydrogen sulfide.
That's correct.
Okay. Whew.